Stop stealing from your future just so that you can live in debt today. You are now tuned in to Upskill Professionals, helping you forge a path upward. Because once you stop forecasting your future performance based on your past failures, you'll soon begin to realize just how within reach new heights truly are. Once again, my name is Chris. I'm your career coach here at Upskill Professionals, and today I want to talk about the American dream. Because when you land your corporate job, it can feel like landing on the launching pad of your American dream. You're working around very important people, from directors to senior directors, even VPs. You've got your own corporate credit card. You're making probably more money than you ever have in the past. And now the only thing that is left is to go out and acquire the things that constitute like the American dream, like the clothes, the cars, the family, and the house. Now, the reason that is because the American dream is more so the chase of status symbols than the acquisition of actual status. And so today I want to explore some of the key status symbols that could get you into serious financial trouble as you seek to build out your true American dream. And the first one is going to be college or university, more broadly, education. In the US alone, there's approximately $1.7 trillion in outstanding student loan debt across both privately held and federal student loans. Across both categories, the average interest rate is approximately 6.7%, and the average amount of money in student loans that graduates walk away from university with is about $38,000. And a large part of the reason of this is because the importance of education is typically sold to you twice. As the story goes, in order to land a high paying corporate job, you first have to obtain an undergraduate degree, preferably from a prestigious university that is very expensive. And then later on down the line, as you progress through your career, as you seek senior leadership roles or to take that next big step, so the story goes that you should obtain your MBA, master's, or PhD in a relevant field of study to increase your chances of landing that next big opportunity and to increase the salary bump that you will get when you do land it. And listen, I'm not here to argue that obtaining an advanced degree is not going to help you progress through your career. But what I am saying is be cognizant of the return on investment of your education and seek strategies to reduce your debt burden. That means paying for cash if possible, or rather paying with cash if possible. That means seeking out scholarships, grants, and employer assistance or tuition reimbursement programs if you are currently working. It means speaking with recruiters, seeking out market data that proves that attending school A is really going to help you that much more over attending school B, or that getting an advanced degree in the first place is going to have a real impact on your long term career success. Now, the second debt trap that you want to avoid as you seek to build out your American dream is credit cards. As the story goes, you need to start building your credit history early so that when it comes time to buy that car or that house, you already have a good credit score and you're more likely to receive amenable loan terms. And one of the best ways to build your credit score is to get a credit card because as long as you pay your balance off on time every month, you're never going to have to pay any interest, right? Well, here's the reality. In America, there is approximately $1.2 trillion in outstanding credit card balances with a average 22.6% APR or annual interest rate. And that averages out to about $6,500 in credit card debt per individual in the US. And so the call out here is that while credit cards may offer good benefits like cashback rewards, travel miles, and consumer protections, make sure that before you begin using your credit card, you create a budget, adhere to the budget, Pay your credit card off on time every month and continue to live below your means so that way you truly never carry a balance or have to pay interest. Now, the challenge here is that a lot of people think that they can accomplish this, but the reality ends up being that at some point they lose discipline or life happens and they find themselves paying somewhere around 22.6% interest on their $6,500 credit card balance. So, again, if you are going to use a credit card, be disciplined, stick to your budget, have that emergency fund just in case something happens. Now, the third status symbol that also doubles as a debt trap along the journey of building your American dream is going to be automobiles. So you're walking up to your corporate building. Most likely you're passing through the parking lot, and over time you begin to notice the numerous luxury vehicles sprinkled throughout the parking lot, a few Teslas charging in the periphery, and eventually all that subliminal messaging triggers your entitlement to tell you, you know what, I work here too. I deserve a brand new or luxury car like that. But here's the question: is the debt and the interest that you're going to take on worth the seconds that you get to impress a stranger at the stoplight? And so here's one of the main traps that I see a lot of Americans fall into. And when I say a lot of Americans, we're talking about $1.6 trillion dollars in outstanding auto loans with an average 9 to 11% APR or interest rate based on whether or not we're talking used or new cars. So a lot of Americans are feeling the pain of auto loans on their budget right now. And so the trap that you want to avoid is thinking that a new car means a car payment. You can save up cash and pay for your car outright. Now, obviously, everyone's situation is different. You may not have the time to save that much money. So, if you do need to get a car and take out an auto loan, what you want to make sure is that you are buying a car that rests within your means. Now, one way to assess this is by using the 50-30-20 rule. And this is a guideline because, again, everyone's financial situation may be different. So you may need to tailor the numbers a little bit. But the general idea is that 50% of your salary should go toward paying for needs, 30% of your salary should go toward paying for wants, and 20% of your salary should go towards saving, investing, or repaying debt. And so if you're like me, I like to switch the 30 and the 20. I love to use the dollars that I earn today to buy a brighter future tomorrow. But the call out here is make sure that you're buying a car within your means if you have to take on that auto loan and car payment. But again, I just want to stress this. If you have the opportunity, buy your car outright. It drives different. The car seat feels different. You clean your car more diligently and take better maintenance and care of your car when you have a paid off car, no car payment in sight, and all you have to worry about is the gas and the property tax and insurance. It's just a different driving experience. Now, the fourth status symbol that can turn into a debt trap for the American dream that you want to avoid is, I'm going to get some flack for this one, marriage. Now, as you graduate college and progress through your career, you'll see a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues get married. You'll get invited to some of the extravagant weddings that they throw. And when it comes your turn to get married, you can't just go down to the Register of Deeds office and sign the paperwork. No, that would be heresy. You have to throw this extravaganza and invite the friends that you haven't seen in years, the relatives that you don't even remember who last saw you as a baby, and the coworkers that you wouldn't even talk to if you didn't work with them. Also, they could bask in this glorious experience that is your wedding. Also, that you can go off that night alone, wake up in the morning, and have your beautiful significant other laying next to you, along with a third party, being the average $33,000 worth of debt that Americans find themselves in for their marriage ceremony. And so the cautionary tale here is a marriage constitutes ideally a lifetime bond. Don't spend it in bondage to the debt from your wedding ceremony. Where possible, save money so that way you can cash flow your wedding. Make sure that you have conversations with your significant other about what is really important to have in the ceremony. Where can you cut back and save money when it comes to your wedding? And then, most importantly, make sure that the two of you are aligned on your values around money. Again, you don't want to start your marriage off on the rocks of debt. You have a lifetime. Do something greater later if it's that important to you so that you can cash flow your wedding, continue to save money, and then make a momentous event of one of your anniversaries. Now, the fifth thing that you want to be cautious of as you build out your American dream, the fifth potential debt trap that you are going to face is your mortgage. I mean, your parents are going to be looking forward to grandchildren. Your spouse probably also wants kids. And you can't have those in an apartment, right? I mean, you have to buy a house. And that's exactly why there's $11.8 trillion of outstanding mortgage debt in the US. Right now, we're sitting at about a 7.5% APR interest rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage. And the average mortgage amount per family is $240,000. So by the time you have your degree, your credit card, your car, your marriage debt, and this beautiful house with these beautiful kids, you have about $340,000 of debt weighing down on the roof of your new house. Those heart palpitations? No, no, that's not stress. That is the American dream personified, come to fruition, manifested. So, what is the solution? I'm here to tell you that it's not going to be sexy, it's not going to be fun, but it is simple. Stop stealing from your future just so that you can live in debt today. Create a budget. Make sure that everything is in it. Make sure that you monitor it on a regular basis. Make sure that you adhere to it. Build in those long-term purchases like the wedding, the car, the house that you know are eventually going to hit, and build in buffer or an emergency fund for the inevitable life occurrences and expenses that are headed your way and that you cannot foresee. Stop relying on debt and credit cards to get you through life. Pay cash, and that may mean that you have to sacrifice in some areas. Number three, create healthy boundaries with those around you. There will inevitably come a time when a family member, when friends come to ask for money, or when your spouse or your kids want to buy something that you can't afford. Have that conversation proactively and set those boundaries so that people understand that you will help how you can without breaking the bank. And then the fourth thing, invest. Invest, invest. We work too hard for our money not to work hard for us. So listen, if you got value from this video, which I hope you all did, make sure that you hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can be apprised as we do drop new content weekly. And listen, a career is a long journey to sojourn without a guide. So if you don't believe that you can do better, I'm here to make sure you know better. Upskill professionals, helping you forge a path upward.